on that shooting on the campus of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. It happened just before noon Las Vegas time.
Here's what we know right now. According to Las Vegas Metro Police, at least 3 people are dead and a 4th victim is in critical condition at a local hospital. Police have also confirmed the suspect is deceased. No further threat to the public at this time. The shooting happened at the business school on campus, and shots were also fired at the student union. I believe they're about to start updating the public right now. Let's go to Las Vegas and hear from the police.
Good evening. Thanks for coming. My name is Kevin McMahill, and I'm the sheriff of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. First, I would like to reiterate to all of you that there is no more ongoing threat to our community here in Las Vegas. I also like to tell you that we do know the identity of the suspect in this case, but I will not be releasing his name tonight until after the next of kin notification. As you all know, of course, this is a tragic day for all of us in Southern Nevada. And at approximately 11:45 a.m., LVMPD dispatch received reports of an active shooter at the UNLV campus. UNLV campus police responded to the scene and engaged the suspect immediately right outside of Beam Hall. LVMPD officers also responded simultaneously. I can tell you today, 3 of the victims are confirmed deceased. There is a 4th victim who suffered a gunshot wound and is now currently in Sunrise Hospital, upgraded to stable condition. In addition to that, there were 4 additional people who were transported from the scene to nearby hospitals suffering from panic attacks. 2 of our officers were treated at UMC for minor injuries, which were received while searching the vast rooms and buildings for victims at UNLV. Our hearts go out to the entire UNLV community. No student should have to fear pursuing their dreams on the college campus. What happened today is a heinous, unforgivable crime, but I want you all to know something. It's a crime that we train for each and every day. When there is an active shooter threat, the men and women of the Southern Nevada first responder community, police, fire, and EMS come together to respond quickly and decisively with zero hesitation. Within minutes, both on and off duty responders raced to the campus to prevent further loss of life. On a personal note, I'll tell you that after 1 October and all the time and effort and energy that we've put together in training with the men and women of law enforcement, the fire service, and EMS, watching how seamlessly they work together today made me very, very proud to be their sheriff. Importantly, there was a gathering just outside of the building where the students were playing games and eating food. There were tables set up for them to build Legos. And if it hadn't been for the heroic actions of one of those police officers who responded, there could have been countless additional lives taken. Armed confrontation of the suspect by law enforcement stopped the suspect's further actions. I'm proud of the courage of these officers and the UNLV campus police and how they demonstrated that today. And with that, I'm going to introduce the governor of the great state of Nevada, Joe Lombardo. Governor.
Thank you. Kevin, thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. I think it's important for people to realize the partnership that is formed as a result of my career at LVMPD and with Kevin, the sheriff himself, and the confidence that I was assured of when I got notified today. I had no doubt that the response would be appropriate, it would be swift, it would be quick, to the satisfaction of all the naysayers that we normally experience during critical incidents. And today, LVMPD did a fantastic job, along with the University PD did a fantastic job. And after the after action is settled here and our concern for the victims are bolstered and satisfied, I will be absolutely proud of the response of the first responders. I'll be absolutely proud of the community of UNLV, and I'll be absolutely proud of the community of Las Vegas and the state of Nevada. I had some formal comments to be said, but the important piece is I'm here to show the solidarity between the community and the law enforcement community and ensure on behalf of the state of Nevada, we are here to help, provide resources to the benefit of the victims, and to express my concern for the victims and favorable thoughts to the families, and to ensure that we move forward as a society and as a community, and to assure the community we are doing everything within our ability to address these situations appropriately and with the knowledge that we receive on a continual basis. So, Kevin, thank you. I appreciate that. And I think it's appropriate that the chief of UPD comes up and says a few words in the positive response of his police department. So, Chief Alex Garcia, please.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Adam Garcia. I'm the University Police Chief. First of all, let me begin by telling you all how heartbroken we are on our campus for what happened today. On behalf of the Chancellor, the Board of Regents, and President Whitfield, I am passing along our profound sense of loss for what occurred in the loss of life that took place. As the sheriff said, our officers collectively, UPD as well as Metro, responded to call for shots fired approximately 11:45. Two of our detectives responded to the scene and immediately engaged the suspect in a shootout. The suspect was struck and is deceased at this time. The campus was almost immediately closed, and out of an abundance of caution, all Nevada System of Higher Education institutions in Southern Nevada were as well closed. UNLV will remain closed for the remainder of today, tomorrow, and Friday, and additional determinations will be made as to whether or not the university will reopen next week, which will be finals week. So with that, I will turn it over to Commissioner Gibson.
Thank you, Chief. I'm Jim Gibson, the chairman of the Clark County Commission, and I'm here to express the shock that we all felt as a community, but at the same time, the enormous relief that we feel as a result of the great work of the first responders. We want everyone to know that anyone who has been affected will have the resources available to them to ensure that they have an opportunity and a pathway to work through whatever the effects have been. My colleagues on the County Commission, indeed all of us in Clark County, express our support to the university and the folks who've been affected over there. We know that this will not know the entirety of the effect of all of this for some time. But the one thing that is certain, which was spoken, I think, a few minutes ago, is that without the incredibly well-trained and effective response that was provided, a whole lot worse situation could have happened. For those who suffer loss under the circumstances, the worst has happened for them. And as a community, we need to make sure that we're mindful of them. We need to keep them in our prayers, and we need to respond in every other way that we possibly can in order to meet the needs that are so great at this time, this kind of a thing, and at this time in our lives here in this county. And now I would turn it over, the microphone over to Chief Steinbeck, who will talk just a little bit about what some of the resources are that are available. Chief?
Thank you, Commissioner. Appreciate it. Adam, great job. Thank you very much, and great job by LVMPD and certainly all the participating agencies there. Yes, immediately we started to go ahead and we had people that aren't there on scene start to build up the resources for the recovery. Recovery starts actually before the incident even begins, and certainly as the incident unfolds. So we do have over at the Las Vegas Convention Center in the North Hall, we have opened up a family assistance center there. It's similar to the one that we opened up after 1 October, obviously smaller in scale, but ready to provide many of the same services, which include behavioral health services. UNLV has student services there. We have religious leaders there. Legal Aid of Nevada is there. Any resources that we might find necessary, whether they're immediate or in the long term, as the commissioner said. Also at the Vegas Justice and Resiliency Center, that'll be open. That is the center that was opened up following 1 October, a long-term resiliency center. That is also ready to assist those in need, and will take over the long-term recovery operation following the immediate reunification and the services that are provided at the Family Assistance Center. You can access those services in person or online. And the online is at the FAC, which stands for Family Assistance Center, FAC of southernnevada.org. You can also call 211, in which you'll be directed over to the call center, or the direct call to the call center is 702-455.
On yet another mass shooting in this country. The latest number is 3 people dead, 1 person wounded. That person was in critical condition. The update today indicated that they are in stable condition. Classes at the campus of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, are now canceled until it appears next week. Next week being finals. We still don't have a definitive word on that. 30,000 students, though, on that campus in Las Vegas. Chance, people in Las Vegas right now must be saying, here we go again.
Yes, and just think of how many people are so startled, shaken, disappointed, scared. We heard also 3 people taken to the hospital with panic attacks, 2 officers with minor injuries, and yet they point out right outside of the student center where shots rang out, they had set up Legos. It was supposed to be a lighthearted, fun thing where people were gathering, and you just wonder how much worse it could have been, but already 3 people dead. Just for some context here, based on what we heard, I want to bring in Randy Sutton tonight, and I know we both want to speak with him. Dell, he's a retired police lieutenant and founder of an organization that actually focuses on a lot of these sorts of issues. Lieutenant, thank you for being here. What we heard from everybody who stood up and spoke, everything was followed. Every protocol was followed. Does it seem that way based on what you just heard?
Absolutely, and the fact that that the attacker was stopped as early in his mayhem as occurred shows that the law enforcement response was exactly what it should have been. I just can't imagine how much more destruction and death this individual could have inflicted had it not been for the law enforcement response and the courageousness of the officer.
Randy, what does this say about where we are now as a country, that we've had back-to-back mass shootings in this country? There was one in Texas, I believe 6 people shot there. Now we have one on the campus of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. And we are basically saying it was a good day because 3 students died and 1 was wounded, but it could have been worse. It also could have been prevented had something been done with all the other shootings that we've been talking about this year, and yet here we are again.
Well, here we are again is right. And unfortunately, what we have seen is this incredible surge in violence throughout this nation. And there's a lot of reasons for that. And I think that, much of it is much of the blame, if you will, should be placed on a criminal justice system that has broken down and is limping along on life support because of the failure of many law enforcement, criminal justice that aspects, such as prosecutors that refuse to prosecute, judges that refuse to sentence for violent gun crime, and all this plays a role in the breakdown of what was once a fairly safe society.
Lieutenant, I know, in the coming days, that conversation will play out that we all are sadly so familiar with, of criminal justice system, mental illness, access to guns, and, the amalgam that we eventually run into every time. But as far as this situation, They did not give a motive tonight, at least at this time. They also have not given the identity of the suspect because they're notifying next of kin. But something struck me when they said, this happened in the business school, and then there were also shots at the student center. Very busy. It was 11:45 a.m. on a college campus with 30,000 students, midday. Would that suggest to you anything that this was maybe more targeted?
I'm not a believer in coincidences, and in most of the shootings that take place, there is a relationship between the shooter and either the elite one or more of the victims or the location involved here. So I would be shocked if there was not some relationship that took place here between the shooter and the location that he chose to create his death and destruction.
Randy, have we now jumped the shark, though, with regards to this issue? You talked about the criminal justice system, which is something that we have talked about now ever since Columbine. But the bottom line is everything that has happened in this country happens everywhere else in the world, and yet we are awash in guns. 450 million, according to the last count that I checked. No other country on the face of the planet has that many weapons. Are we now afraid to talk about the fact that everybody seems to have a gun?
Well, we're a gun-oriented society. There's no doubt about it. And here's the unfortunate reality is that as the criminal justice system decays and people feel less safe, that situation is just going to increase because people are having to, unfortunately, believe that the law enforcement can no longer keep them safe because of the lack of prosecutions, because of the changing laws that are literally giving carte blanche to the criminal element, while the people are feeling fearful and feeling like they won't be protected by the government, which the government, the number one thing that a government should do is protect their people. Well, we're not doing it, and I'm watching the criminal justice system decay. And while that happens, people are going to have to defend themselves more. And what's that going to mean? That means more gun purchases from legitimate people. Now, where do those guns wind up? Very often, the weapons that are used in these mass shootings and other criminal activities, they're stolen. And so the unfortunate reality is this: you're not going to get rid of guns. You can make more
Randy,
laws every single day.
That's an apples and oranges argument. We're talking about a mass shooting on a college campus. We're not talking about somebody that went into the grocery store and shot the place up and robbed it, and the people that ran the grocery store needed law enforcement. We're talking about students in a dorm or in a building on a college campus who were shot in a week before finals.
Yeah, but that wasn't the question you asked me. The question you asked me was about guns. So if we're not going to get rid of guns, if you think that is ever going to happen, you have to wake up. It's not going to happen. There's way too many out there. We're not a society that's going to give up those guns. So the creation of more laws, while it sounds like a nice utopian idea, is not going to be the answer. Because if the killer in this set of circumstances, what law is going to could be put in place that's going to keep an individual who's willing to kill others from not violating that law as well? So this is the conundrum that we are facing right now. And do I have a solution to it? No, I don't. But what I do know is that most of the mass shootings that take place are not mass shootings of this nature. Most of the mass shootings that take place are related to gang-related activities and criminal activities that take place. So there's two types of shootings here. Now, here's the other aspect. What we don't know yet what the motive here was. Was there an ideological motive? We don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of information we don't know. We don't even know who the victims were. We do not even know who the suspect was. What we do know is that police and the luminaries of the city and state have come out and said that they followed protocol, almost anticipating, maybe second guessing it. The governor said, you know, any naysayers, you know, that they can be, you know, quiet on this because they did it well. So right now, again, before launching into all the usual arguments, again, just reminding ourselves that this was a really scary day. Like you said, people are scared. We had sound from a mom who finally got to hug her daughter. 30,000 moms and dads out there just thinking, not my child, not my child. Retired police lieutenant, founder of the Wounded Blue, Randy Sutton, thank you, and we'll be right back.